This is Travis Wayne Goodsell. I just woke up, so it's before 3 a.m. I had a dream, which I woke up after looking at a clock that said 1:29. That was the time on the clock, 1:29. And I woke up immediately after that and saw my actual clock showing well after 2:30. And so, yeah, the dream was giving me a prophecy date. Now, those of you who don't know me, I have prophecy dreams and have published a basic 101 learning book for Mormons. Because of my recognition of dream symbols as a result. It's referring to a date, January 29th. I had a dream a few years ago in which I saw room number 202, and that was February 20th. The 2 at the end was the month, then 20 was the day. But with clocks, it's different, because clocks are divided from 1 to 12, so it's a calendar month. And so 1 is January, and then 29 would be the day, January 29th. I have confirmed this with my 86 dream that I had, which was about my first wife. I was only 16 years old when I had this dream. Because it starts off, I'm in a school classroom, I look at the clock, and it's 3:13. It wasn't a digital clock, it was a regular clock. What do they call it? Analog. And so, yeah, that was March 13th, our wedding day. So yeah, and then I went on the school bus through the canola fields of Canada in the dream at 16 in Southern California. Never knew canola existed. And yeah, and then in the dream I meet up with her, and in the dream I go to the University of Lethbridge, and the bishop invades and takes away my crippled parents, and the guards get her as well. And we are separated. So yeah, I don't know how it works. I don't know who's communicating with me about it. But yeah, so in other words, I don't know the math formula behind it. I don't know the scientific methodology utilized. All I know is I have a dream, and then the dream occurred, and it corresponded with the dream years ago. But this time, I'm able to have dreams that are just a short time to come, because I've been studying dreams since then. So yeah, January 29th, guys, something's gonna happen. And so yeah, it may just be me, but the question that's been on my mind is when will the LDS Church experience a collapse? Now, a collapse could be the full collapse of the church, like our government. You'll remember that we had a total solar eclipse across the whole United States. What did you think that was going to be? You know, astronomers can't tell you. They don't study the ancient cultures. They study space. So they don't know the answer. So why news reporters interview them, and they talk about their dismissal of the connection between the ancient cultural practices and the heavens beyond me. Gotta turn on the air conditioner. So, yeah, there is a connection, at least that I can find, with these being the last days. And people always would say, oh, it's the last days now, oh, it's the last days now, oh, it's the last days now, oh, there's this one sign here, this is it, oh, this one sign here, this is it. Well, if you haven't paid attention, we've had numerous signs. All the biblical signs have happened. And it is confirmed that the LDS Church is involved with the fulfillment of these last day signs. And that's not a good thing, Mormons. It means the LDS Church is going to collapse. It means the LDS Church has the false prophet that is under control of the dragon in John's revelation. Just as the beast is the government leader in that vision or revelation, in which the government leader is Trump. It's that simple. Once you find a date, and you've fulfilled a date, then it's simple. You just attach the religious and government leader at the time over the area where the sign occurred. And the sign occurred over the United States, not Jerusalem, not Italy, the United States. And so, yeah, it's the LDS Church and the United States government. And the government has collapsed. In case you hadn't noticed, Trump is working for Putin. He's doing everything Putin wants him to do. He talks the manner of language of Putin. He does what Putin wants. And thus, just like John says, the dragon controls the beast and the false prophet. So, again, that's why I'm telling you, President Nelson is compromised by Russia. All the things that he's doing are what Putin wants him to do. He's taking away scripture study. He's taking away visiting members. He's taking away the high priesthood to get back to the celestial kingdom. These are not things that God's true prophet would do, but it is something that Lucifer's representative on earth would compel a religious leader to do. And Nelson made the mistake of thinking he can go to Russia without being compromised by Russia mafia. So, yeah, You just don't do it. You stay away from an evil place. So, whether Nelson purposely wanted to compromise himself or whether he went ignorantly to Russia to compromise himself, I don't know. But Sister Nelson gave her little talk and gave us the date of when they went to Russia back in 2013. So that it seems to be clear to me that that's when Nelson was compromised. And the video that's under dispute right now with the background noise that YouTube picked up as a song that is copyrighted, and therefore I can't use my video. That's absurd abuse of the copyright law. You can't do that, guys. But yeah, I talked all about the methods and tactics of mafia, gangs, terrorists, crime bosses. They all use the same tactic, and it's extortion. You know, they get you compromised, and so that you have to do what they tell you to do. And if you go against them, you go to the cops, you make it public, then they bring it out and exploit you. You know, it's sort of like that Hillary email scandal thing that Trump got himself put into. And then there's also that P-tape. So, yeah, that's how they do it. Whether Trump actually was in a hotel with 2 Russian prostitutes, we don't know, but we know that's their tactic. Sending women to your apartment. And then getting video evidence on you. And so, yeah, Trump was a player. So it's not unlikely that Trump would have had 2 prostitutes come to his apartment to try to get compromise on him. So you don't deal with Russia and not get dirty yourself. That was the main message in that video that is under lock and seal. And I gave an example. You know, our own Utah Fred Cox. You might recognize him from the Utah State Legislature. He got voted out, and he lives not too far from me, so he was in my neighborhood when I was Neighborhood Watch president. And when the Neighborhood Watch collapsed, he took it upon himself to infiltrate and rise up and take over. I didn't really care. He could have it. But he was a CIA operative at one time. And so, yes, a CIA operative was using the same exact tactics in his real-life experiences to obtain the presidency of the Neighborhood Watch, just like the Gadianton Band in the Book of Mormon, just like gang members, just like the mafia, just like the crime bosses, just like terrorists. He's using the same tactic, you know, and I saw it. I knew exactly what he was doing. He starts by befriending me. Oh, that was a great comment you made to that other person. You handled that very well. What do you want, Fred? Oh, you want to be partners to help get people motivated to, you know, be memberhood or watch the neighborhood. I saw exactly what he was doing. So, yeah. So January 29th. Yeah, if you're not paying attention to my other videos, President Gordon B. Hinckley died 24 days before a total lunar eclipse. It was January 27th, 2008, and then the total lunar eclipse was February 20th. Now, in and of itself, you may not think anything of it, but then there's other signs that confirm the symbol, an event on Earth. And so, yes, Thomas S. Monson, guys. When did he die? January 2nd, 2018. 10 years later. And then 29 days later, a total lunar eclipse. And then there was another sign on his night with the stars falling from the tail of the dragon, as John the Revelator talks of. And then the quadranted meteor showers. They're at the tail of the dragon. It's amazing. They're the third largest meteor shower of the year. So yes, a third part of the stars fall from the tail of the dragon. That's what they're talking about. And yeah, lunar eclipse, death. So here we have on the 20th and 21st of January a total lunar eclipse, a super wolf blood moon, if you've not been paying attention to anything. So this is an escalated sign from the previous two. He's escalating. Obviously, a belief in God, I guess, is the only way to explain it. Because an alien race of superior beings would have to be exceedingly superior in order to orchestrate events on Earth corresponding with the stars in the heavens on this planet. Because each planet has a different configuration of stars, obviously. So yeah, it's an amazing thing with prophecy. But another thing that I wanted to bring out about the total lunar eclipse, the super blood wolf moon, is that it's on Tu B'Shevet, the New Year of Trees, as it's referred to in Judaism. It's a holy day for the Jews. It's a minor holy day. It's not a major one, but nevertheless, it has significance. Yeah, I'm still waking up. Because in the Old Testament, what is the title for their last days Jewish Messiah? I'll give you a hint. It's the branch, as is translated into English. Twig is also an option for translation. And a new sprout. It has different words for things, but twig also works. Twig is a branch. And so yeah, New Year of Trees, that's when you plant a sprout. You don't plant a full tree, you plant a sprout. If you've ever planted trees before, you don't plant the seed, you plant a sprout. You know, it's already got the stem forming. Yeah. So, the branch, people, the New Year of the branch. So for the Jewish holiday, it's significant because the branch is not only a government leader, he's also supposed to be a religious leader. He is Melchizedek, the great king and the great high priest. And so to have it fall on a super wolf blood moon, which is the symbol of a collapsing religion. And again, it's over the whole United States, North and South America specifically, or at least North America. I'm not sure how far south it goes down. I think it goes all the way, but I can't remember. Maybe I'll put in the picture of it as the thumbnail. Yeah, because if any of you knew Egyptian, and you don't, I have to tell you, on the 21st of August 2017, the total solar eclipse, the sign of the collapse of government, was the Egyptian religious New Year. And if you're unfamiliar with Egyptian and the main story of the Egyptians, the Horus Set, or the Osiris Set Horus myth. Call it myth, but it was very likely a real scenario that played out, because it played out in the Bible as the first story of mankind. Cain and Abel. Cain kills Abel, his brother, and then Seth becomes the son to take over the birthright blessing position, as Cain gets banished to the east. Not a coincidence, that comes directly from that Egyptian myth. And they mix up a few things, but it's millennia after the event. So yeah, the post-captivity Jew got some things wrong, mostly because he didn't want to accept certain things. But that section 91 of the Doctrine and Covenants, guys. Interpolations of men. The Old Testament has interpolations of men, even though it was written by a Jew. Mormons tend to give more credibility to Jewish authors than the Christian authors. But yeah, Article of Faith number 8 says the whole Bible, not just the New Testament. And so, yeah. So in Egyptian, the sun and the moon are representations of the eyes of Horus as a result. And at the beginning of Horus's battle to take back the throne of his father Osiris, who was murdered by his brother Set, who took over the throne, usurped the throne, Horus's eyes get plucked out. If you missed the movie, The Gods of Egypt, that came out not too long ago, was it 2017? Or was that when it came out on DVD? But yeah, they follow the script, sort of. They made some director's interpolations. But yeah, his eyes get plucked out right at the beginning. And that's symbolic of solar and lunar eclipses. You know, darkening of the eyes. Eyes are the sun and the moon. Darkening of the sun and the moon, eclipses. So that's how you translate Egyptian in that sense. Is that the myth is actually a prophecy. But Egyptologists don't know that. I know that, because you're supposed to translate pictures as well. They don't translate pictures. And so, yeah, it represents government and religion collapsing in order for Horus to be necessary. You have to have Osiris die, in other words. And so if Set doesn't kill Osiris, there's no need for a replacement of the government and religious leadership positions. And for Mormons, guess whose birthday was on the 21st of August, 2017? Yes, Thomas S. Monson. Not a coincidence. Not a coincidence. And so, yeah, it's significant because we're starting with a total solar eclipse government, and here we come to the new year of the trees, the branch, on a total lunar eclipse. So, yeah, this is significant, guys. Nobody else has this knowledge. Nobody else can tell you this information. This was my field of study. This has been my research. You know, when I learned that the ancients understood the eclipses as prophecies, I put it to the test. And sure enough, in 2007, Faust goes, then Hinckley goes, and I'm going, whoa, man, this is wild stuff. This actually might work. And then the Tetrad, 2014, 2015. It eventually worked after the third one, which occurred on the morning of General Conference, 2015. 3. Boom, boom, boom. Packer, Perry, Scott. And they weren't in that order. I think it was Perry, Packer, Scott was the order. And so, yeah, President of the Quorum of the 12 goes. And then you have John the Revelator, chapter 12, with the coming forth of the last days Jewish Messiah, who he calls the man-child, on the 23rd of September 2017, which was the first time the church recognized the Relief Society as a part of General Conference, which was when the primary president was elevated to Relief Society president back in April. So this was her first time as Relief Society president. See, Relief Society, primary, mother, child. Seeing the connection here? It's amazing. So go back to Revelation 12. The woman gives birth to the man-child. Mother, child. It's amazing. And so, yeah, that's the time that the man-child takes back the throne of his father, Jesus, in the Christian terminology. But there's more that I would have everybody in an uproar over if I were to explain the Gospels to you. So I won't do that yet. So we're getting near 30 minutes, so I just wanted to point out January 29th, guys. And that's a date. Because we're looking for a date of when the collapse of the religion will occur. And we have the sign date on the 21st of January in the midnight hour. Different interpretation, and of course that music company will now block my video because I spoke the lyrics. I'm hearing yelling outside. It's 3:30, guys. What's going on? Hope I don't need to call the cops. But yeah, we have gangs in our area, and because of the vacuum that the neighbors created by not going to the meetings anymore and my sleep schedule changing, it opened things up for the gangs. So yeah, January 29th.